not in Kansas anymore.
You had my curiosity.
Are you telling me you built a time machine?
The Force will be with you. Assemble.
Welcome back to Get Real, the podcast where we get real about all of our favourite pop culture films and TV shows. I'm Chris, and with me, as always, is my co-host from the future, but also kind of the past, and he's also kind of a monkey man. And I did have something else in mind for this intro, but I completely forgot it. It's Sam.
The number one to your number two, the number two to your number one.
Come in number two. Come in number one.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Welcome back, mate. It's been a bit, hasn't it? I mean, maybe
It's been
not
a
for
hot
listeners.
minute.
It has been a really hot minute. I mean, I did have a good intentions for doing an episode last week, but holy moly, it was a stressful time. And
Mate, don't even stress. Life has been so fucking busy the last few weeks. Like, I don't think anybody in the world's had 2 seconds to put together.
you've had a crazy time. So for anyone that's like not listened to this and you're wondering what we're talking about, we pre-recorded the episode before this one way far in advance because Chris has actually been away for like 2-3 weeks because you've been busy.
I don't know if you can hear this, but I'm in a new house.
He's in a new house.
It's very echoey.
I'm
So
sure
if if you hear anything different with my audio today, that's why. I'm in a new house. I'm in my own house. I own a home, and I'm suddenly an adult, and I don't like it, and it's been a lot of work.
you need to get
Like-
those podcast panels up, you know, like so you look like you mean shit. Like
Yeah. Like, when nobody checks where the acoustics in the room are, they just put some on flat surfaces and like, that'll do. Like, it's some soundproofing, sound dampening. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
just write your name in fucking foam panels. That'll do.
Literally, so like, I was in work all day, and then we had the podcast scheduled, so I was like, right, okay, as soon as I finished working, I did a little bit of DIY, and then I was like, right, I've got a bit of time before dinner. Gonna go outside and mow the lawn and everything, because the lawn was left to state for us. So I finally got round to borrowing a lawnmower and stuff like that. Done that. I have really bad hay fever allergy, so I am suffering now. Like, kicking up that much grass, I am suffering. And I dove in the shower, ate, and now I'm here to record a podcast.
There is nothing more manly that you could do when you first get your house than mow the lawn. It's literally.
It did feel like a big moment. Like, to be honest, the most manly thing was I had to figure out how to plumb a sink.
Wow.
On like the second day, I had to go to B&Q. I was looking at all the plumbing stuff just there, like trying to figure it out. I was like, I need one of them. And I came back and I fucking plumbed in a sink and a washing machine and everything like that. Never been so chuffed to myself.
That's what YouTube was invented for.
I didn't even YouTube it, mate.
Oh
my
my
own
word.
noggin.
Wow.
My own noggin.
You just did a plumb, didn't you?
I did. I gone did a plum. Just call me fucking Luigi over it.
Oh god. Right, well, obviously we last sat and did this about 3 weeks ago. So quite a lot has happened since we last sat down and had a chat. I've not actually just had a chance to sit and chat with you. This is just the first thing with it we've done. We've just
This
decided,
is literally the
yeah.
first time we've chatted in ages.
So it's probably a good thing, to be fair. But
How you do, mate? How you doing? You good?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. It's you know, pandemic time, and you know, it's there's all this of a second wave or one big wave, and you know,
It's just the one big wave.
We're just living through it. We're just living through it, aren't we? So.
All I could think of then was Hot Fuzz. No look, like dampening those curves there. No, it's just the one curve,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh god, man. Yeah, it's just
the one
weird,
wave,
isn't it?
actually.
It's like we're still recording this over Discord, aren't we? So we're not.
Yeah.
We're still not back together yet. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Hopefully, once this space is more sorted, we can record it together in person again.
Yeah. Well, we did see each other before you went off for a bit, didn't we? We managed to
did.
actually see each other in person, in the flesh.
In the flesh.
We played D&D because
We
we're
played some D&D.
big nerds like that.
Big nerd energy.
Big nerd energy. massive.
Also, not to sell yourself short, Sam. Sam's shot a music video. You guys won't see it for quite a while, but it looks fucking sick. So
Oh, thanks, mate.
stay
Cheers.
tuned for that. Like, we're talking about my accomplishments, getting a house and everything. Sam's made a fucking sick music video, so
Yeah, oh, cheers, man. Yeah, it'll be
that's
out
going to
at
be
some
like
point.
3 months before you guys see that, but it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It might even be sooner. You know, the thing's got a first draft and stuff. You just got to send
Yeah,
it back
buddy.
into a little bit and, do a little bit of...
Is there an estimated release schedule for the single?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I don't know. The band have shared that they've done a music video for it, but I don't know when the release is. But yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's the first music video I've ever shot. So, well, we've shot some bits before for like my old band, but this was like the first big boy pull up my jeans and go and shoot a bloody music video job, and I was like, oh, really, don't fuck it up, Sam.
I need to learn lighting very quick. I need to learn how to make a music video.
Well, it's photography, but we're moving stuff, innit? It's,
It's just moving photography. It's just 24 photos a second. You know what I mean?
well, there you go, innit? It's all right. It's all right. And it's turned out all right, so here we are. Anyway,
Let's
Chris,
jump straight into the news.
This is a film, pop culture movie, and TV.
Words are hard.
Pop culture movie and TV podcast. So we better
It
start
is.
talking about a little bit of pop culture movie and TV. So yeah, like you said, we've got a bit of news, starting off with really old news that's about probably 2 weeks old, but Uncharted has started filming with Tom Holland.
Yeah. He shared it on his Instagram, wasn't it? He shared a picture of the deck chairs that they all sit on. I think it
Yeah.
said Nate. I don't know if they were just shortening Nathan or whether they're going to call him Nate in this.
Nate. It's like the cool 2020.
Because he's younger than like the Mark Wahlberg-esque Nathan Drake from the games. He's a lot
Yeah.
younger, so he goes by Nate because he's cool and hip
Don't
and in his
know
20s.
how I feel about Nate Drake. Nate Drake.
Yeah, Nate Drake.
Nate Drake. No. I don't know.
They'll probably call him Nathan Drake until it's just in the flow of the movie, and then they'll just shout Nate, probably.
like-
when they're not giving him his full working title.
It's like
You're
calling
not going to be quickly, Nathan Drake, quick, grab my hand.
Nate, grab my
Nate.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Drake. No. Mr. Tom
Nathan
Holland.
Drake, famed treasure hunter of the Nine Realms, quick, grab my hand.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like it's a bit like calling Peter Parker Pete Parker. It's like you just wouldn't do that. Yeah, it makes you feel a bit dirty, doesn't it? Bit ill. A bit ill. No, thank you. Not for me.
No thanks, I'm out.
But yeah, that's exciting. I mean, there's that. Wasn't there a Russo brothers thing that Tom Holland did that he looks like he's robbing a bank or something? I don't think that's come out yet.
No, I think that got pushed back. I think the release for that got pushed back like near enough a whole year. It's all shot and mostly edited, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see that because I'd love to see Tom Holland in something really different, which I suppose why I'm quite excited to see him in Uncharted. But also,
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you get someone like Tom Holland and he's got to do a good job of a video game movie, hasn't he?
Oh, well, you would hope. Like, he seems like he's a big fan of it. He did something else which was quite different. I think, wasn't it Lost City of Z with Robert Battenbat?
Straight over my head, bro.
I'm sure they were in that together, and like Tom Holland's got like a mustache and stuff like that. And it just seems weird seeing him as anything other than like Spider-Man or like a teenage character at the moment.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna see him rob banks and shit, and then be a treasure hunter.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down. It just feels weird, you know what I mean? And he also did that film with Daisy Ridley that has, I think, just been shelved completely at the moment.
I have no idea.
I think
what
they
you're
wanted to
talking about.
reshoot, but then coronavirus was happening, and then it just got shelved completely. Yeah, like Daisy Ridley's wearing a really weird blonde wig in the still image that we got for it. He looks like a young Nathan Drake in that as well.
He's just born to play Nathan Drake.
Speaking of the Russo brothers working with MCU cohorts, aren't they producing The Grey Man, or are they producing or directing? What are they doing with that?
They are. I think they're essentially just doing an extraction with it. So I believe they're producing it. I don't know whether they're directing it, but I can tell you that very quickly if you buy me.
This is a film with Captain America himself, Steve Rogers himself, Chris Evans, and Ryan Gosling. That's a pair up.
That is, yeah. So
That's
what
a
this
handsome
film,
movie right there.
so I can buy myself a bit of time because I know what this film's about. So essentially, one of the two, I think it's Ryan Gosling, is playing an ex-CIA operative, and Chris Evans is a current CIA operative, and he is hunting Ryan Gosling down.
So it's going to be like the other guys type thing, but like roles are reversed. So like Ryan Gosling's like the rugged older guy, and then Chris Evans is like the clean cut new special agent.
Yeah, now it's actually across the world, so it's actually like a worldwide level film.
Globetrotter.
It is, yeah. So it looks pretty cool. So the action thriller is a deadly duel between killers as Gentry, who is Gosling. Gosling looks a bit like a Gentry.
Gentry from Game of Thrones. Oh no, that's Gendry.
That's Gentry. Gendry. This is Gentry.
You just said Genji. That's from Overwatch.
So Gentry, Gosling, is hunted across the globe by Lloyd Hansen, who is played by Evans, a former cohort of Gentry's at the CIA. The Grey Man turned into a best-selling book series, and the expectation is that Gosling will continue in multiple installments.
Ooh. Right, so I'm picturing in my head right now, like, Catch Me If You Can meets The Men from U.N.C.L.E. And I recently rewatched The Men from U.N.C.L.E. That's a stylish-ass film. That's a good film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, The Man
That's
from
such a
U.N.C.L.E.
good
is a really
film.
good film. It's a very, very good film.
I'm thinking like a mashup between those two. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, Cherry is the film with Tom Holland in it.
Is that the Russo brothers one or the one with Daisy Ridley?
That's the one where he has PTSD.
So the Russo brothers one.
The Russo brothers one, yeah.
Cool.
That's
cool.
pretty
We
cool.
solved the mystery.
Solved it. Solved two mysteries.
Right.
But-
What's the next bit of news?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. Like, I've not really seen a Ryan Gosling film where I've been disappointed by it. He's one of those guys who doesn't take a lot of acting jobs. Like, you don't see him in a lot of stuff a lot of the time, but when he does, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah, I think the only time like he just took bit parts was when he was younger. I think he did some TV jobs as well when he was younger. Well, he was a Disney Channel kid. I remember that much.
Yeah. Well, he was also going to be in The Wolfman, is it?
Yeah, the Dark Universe version,
Yeah.
which never ended up happening.
Which he just takes a little bit of everything, doesn't he? So
He does, like, he cherry picks his things really like really carefully, like half Nelson, and like he went through a proper like indie phase after The Notebook. Like Half Nelson, Lars and the Real Girl, loads of stuff like that. They were really great, and then Drive came out, and I think that pushed him back into the blockbusters.
yeah.
I watched him in. Did you know that he used to date Sandra Bullock when he was like 22, 23, and she was like in her 30s?
Wow.
They
Really?
were in the ABCs of Murder together.
Wow. That's
It's
an interesting pairing.
it's kind of like,
Oh yeah, there's photos.
yeah, it's kind of like, how do I describe that film? Sort of like Scream meets... The film has just gone from my head. No, yeah, it's kind of like Scream meets Stay, which he's also in, with Hugh McGregor,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
with just a cop procedural.
Interesting. Very good. What's the next story,
Yeah.
Chris?
The next story here, we've got Project Power, the trailer. So this is the Joseph Gordon-Levitt superhero cop movie? Or is it a series?
It's a
It's
movie.
Netflix.
It's got Jamie Foxx in it as well.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I don't think Jamie Foxx was in the trailer for it, was he?
He was in the trailer for it.
I think I might have seen a clip from the film, not the trailer.
So essentially,
I saw-
this is a particular drug activates people's powers, doesn't it? And turns them like superhuman. So they take this drug, and then it unlocks whatever power they've got inside of them. So for one of them, it's turning indestructible, which I think is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because he gets like hit in the face and it just
Yeah,
bounces
he gets
off
shot
him.
in the face, doesn't
That's
he?
it, yeah. And I think Jamie Foxx sets on fire, which is cool.
Okay, so
Yes.
this, I don't know if it's based off anything. It reminds me of a concept that I've heard from a comic book, where it activates a superpower if you take a certain drug. Also kind of a bit like The Boys. But this, like, I didn't know the synopsis because I just saw the clip of Joseph Gordon-Levitt like chasing the guy and then like tackling him in the street and getting shot in the head and stuff like that.
Now
That looked cool enough for me.
Now let me
But-
tell you something about this film trailer, Chris. That
Go
we've-
on then.
That we've spoken about at length already on the group chat, right? But a while ago, and I don't know what episode of the podcast it was, we had a discussion that I thought Casey Neistat, famous YouTuber, had a cameo in Spawn, right?
Yeah, the Jamie Foxx film that has not happened. You thought that film had come out and those two were in it.
Well, no, I thought he was going to have a cameo in it because
Okay.
I thought it was already filming, but lo and behold, it wasn't filming, right? This is the film, and I wasn't miles away. It was superpowers, it was Jamie Foxx, and it was Casey Neistat. And this is the film where
you just missed the whole hell and demon aspect of it.
I just missed whatever his name is, Todd McFarlane. That's who I missed, really. But this
Big
was
capes.
the film. This was the film I was thinking of, and when I saw it, I was like, "That's it!"
Straight away in the group chat, it was like, "Bro!"
But the funny thing was, I was watching it with my girlfriend, and then I freaked out, and she was like, "It's only a YouTuber," and I was like, "But you don't understand that this was something that I spoke about ages ago," and then Chris didn't believe me that he had a cameo in Spawn. But here we go. Because he was you told me it wasn't filming yet, and yes, that was correct. It was not filming yet. But here we go. Sam wasn't on cloud nine after all. There was something true about what he said.
Yeah. There was an element of truth. It's one of those alternate reality things. Like you adamantly believe something happened, the Mandela effect, but it wasn't really that. It was something slightly different.
Yeah, but it was true.
Okay. Next news story.
So
When's this coming out? Actually, Project Power. Do you remember?
I can tell you very, 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 very quickly.
Google is our best friend.
Project Power, the 2020 film, is coming to Netflix on the 14th of August. So
August.
Yeah, it's straight to Netflix. It's a Netflix distributed
Netflix
film.
is having a great end to the summer.
Netflix is killing it. Like you get in this, you're gonna get the Grey Man as well.
Yeah.
That's a Netflix film. You've got Umbrella Academy coming out.
Yeah,
which
that
we're
comes
talking
out.
about.
Does that come out tomorrow for us recording this?
I think
Friday the 31st.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I don't.
The Transformers first film or series or whatever it is just came out the other day.
Yeah,
Then they've got loads of stuff coming out in August as well. Like, it's mental.
yeah, they're doing really well, and the quality of the stuff's really good. Like we'll talk about
subscribe to Netflix, and Netflix you can send our check in the post.
but also we'll talk about this when we get onto it. So yeah, the next story was just something I wanted to talk to you about, Chris. Just because
I saw what you wrote in the message, and I was like, what?
Because I've got a strong opinion about this, and I know what is going on with Kanye, Chris.
What is going on with Kanye? I've been asking that for a long time.
We're a pop culture
he
podcast.
Sort of, he
It's allowed.
fascinated me for a while, and then he just annoyed me to no end, and then I kind of got back into it a little bit, and now he just frustrates me, and now everything going on at the moment just confuses me.
So have you kept up with what was going on recently?
So he announced a collection with Gap, and then he
Yep.
announced he was running for president. That's
Yeah.
the two things. And then I saw a clip that somebody took from one of his rallies in which he was basically saying that slavery never ended and stuff like this and all this sort of stuff. And it got a major backlash, but I don't know what else has been going on.
So I might be wrong, right? And if I'm getting this wrong, then feel free to correct me and blacklist me or whatever. But he was running for president, then wasn't running for president. He backed out and started shutting down his campaign office and all that. And then the next thing is that he was at this rally where he was wearing a bulletproof vest with security on it. And he was doing all that, saying all the things that you were on about.
Yeah.
And then he was crying and, oh man, just what is going on? I know they put out a statement saying that he suffers with bipolar disorder as well. But holy moly, man! You just have to go watch the video. It's
I
like,
literally only saw like an 8-second clip.
It's
and somebody,
insane.
like the person filming it, was like, "Nah, bye, I'm out." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow."
It's pretty insane when you watch it.
It's- Like, imagine just having enough money and just being in your own little world enough. Like, he has just lived in his own reality for so long that he thinks all these things are kind of normal.
Yeah,
Like, I just imagine being in that situation in life where you've lost touch with the real world quite that much.
and granted, you know what? He probably has got problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But holy crap, man! Like,
I think that's an issue with just like fame on that scale in general leads to a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the other day, like I think it was yesterday, I saw all over Twitter, like I think it was TMZ or like a paparazzi was just like, he just returned from his rally in South Carolina and he was in the car with Kim and like they were like crying and having this like what looked like a big like emotional domestic type thing, like having an argument or whatever. But then they notice the cameras are on him because somebody's like just snapping away at him, and it's like, imagine every single thing that you do just being recorded like that and just like constantly having people pointing cameras at you. Of course, it's going to like warp your sense of reality.
yeah, of course. Well, that's all we've got time for keeping up with the Kardashians with Get Real. So.
And hopefully that's the last time we ever reference keeping up with Kardashians on the Get Real podcast.
I think this was a story that I was still going to talk about when I was planning on doing the episode with my girlfriend, which will eventually,
Right, okay.
I guess, sometime at some point in the future probably happen. But that was the backup episode that I had, but it just didn't happen because
You were just going to talk about Kanye for an hour.
well, we had an idea, but
Okay.
it was going to be really. I don't know, man. It was gonna take a lot of watching and a lot of research, and like I was running stuff at work at the time, so my
Yeah.
boss was off, which left me in charge, and it was just way too much, like for me to sit
Yeah, I
down
get
and
that.
try and figure out at the same time. So anyway, that's a little tease for the future. So you might get some sickle episode at some point in the future.
Cool.
But there you go. But anyway, moving on from that. So Giancarlo Esposito, who
You love saying his name. You always nail it every time.
I know
Got it
that's why I like
memorised.
saying it, because it's a name that looks like it's a lot harder to say, but once you've said it a few times, you're like, yeah. So
That's like me with Abdul Mantine the second.
nearly.
There's another name in there that I've missed out. I butchered it. I can only remember it.
he started so confidently.
I did. And then I lost it. I forgot what his final name was.
Oh no, there's definitely more names in there than what you said. But anyway,
Yeah, it's the
you're talking
three
about the guy
barrel.
who plays Black Manta in Aquaman.
Yeah.
So yeah, Giancarlo Esposito, he's killing it, man. He's doing so well. Giancarlo Esposito is in.
He only ever gets his full name. I don't think
Imagine,
anybody ever calls him just Gene.
imagine if I'm saying it wrong this whole time. That'd be incredibly embarrassing.
You try to do the Tom Cruise thing. So apparently, when Tom Cruise first like meets you, he'll try and say your name. I think it's 6 times within like the first like 2 minutes of meeting you. Like in the conversation, he'll try and say like, your full name, so it embeds in his brain.
That's such a
I feel
Tom
like that's what you
Cruise
do
thing.
with like Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, he's nailing it now. He's nailing
Just
it.
because I've heard you say it so many times.
So yeah, he's what's the guy's name now in Mandalorian? I was about to say Mon Mothra, but
Moth.
well, no, that's a
Moth Gideon.
That's it. I said a combination between the Godzilla monster and Mon Mothma from Star Wars. I got it so wrong.
Mon Mothra.
Well, we knew there was a moth somewhere, so Moff Gideon. Obviously,
Moth Ghidorah.
yeah. Obviously, he plays the guy in Breaking Bad.
From Los Pollos Hermanos.
Los Polos Hermanos. He plays.
Ah,
God's sake! What?
what's his name? We did an episode about it. What's his name?
Gustavo Fring.
There you
Gustavo
go.
Fring. Why did I struggle so much for that?
Gustavo.
Yeah, he plays Gus Fring in there. He's killing it. He's also gonna be.
Riding high.
He is. He's also gonna be the villain in Far Cry 6. He is El Presidente.
El Presidente. And a lot of rumors are that the young kid in it is going to be Voss.
Yeah, I've heard
Before
that
like
as
going
well.
like a bit ape and move into like a stranded island or something.
Yeah, have you seen the cinematic trailer for this?
I have. It did seem
is
pretty cool.
Ridiculous.
Okay, talk to me about this real quick. Everybody in that trailer looks CGI. It looks like completely CGI people for the cinematic trailer, which look great anyway, except for Giancarlo Esposito looks live action.
No, he is. Yeah, he is actually CGI, and that is just really good.
It's probably because he's a real person. They just did the world's most in-depth face scan of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's so uncanny valley.
He looked real. It was only like a little bit, I think, round the size of his mouth, the way that the light caught it a little bit. I was like, that doesn't look entirely real. I thought they had just filmed him and then touched him up a little bit. But no, it's probably just a full face scan.
Yeah, but then there's the bit where he's like lighting the cigar as well, and that is something really hard to do when it comes to animation, because there's a lot of, it's always mouth movements, like you said, that always creates like the uncanny valley. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's really spot on. It's really,
It's
really
the
good.
lighting as well, with like the ambient lighting of a cigarette and cigar.
Yeah, and it's like the whole Tarkin in Rogue One kind of vibe, but it's like it's at that level, isn't it? It's at that level. It's just nuts. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Apparently, rumors are is that he wants to eye up a role in the MCU next.
I've seen a few people pinning him as maybe the next Professor X.
That would be cool.
Which, okay, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, he's a great actor, but I've never seen him act in a role that would make me feel like Professor X is the role for him. There's plenty of people in the MCU that I'd love to see him as. But
I mean,
I'm not sure if Professor X is the one for me.
What if, and I don't know how you feel about this, but what if he was a Doctor Doom?
He would be a pretty cool Doctor Doom.
Dr.
He could
Victor Von Doom.
like he is in Far Cry 6, he could be like the leader of like a small nation, like proper menacing type guy.
Yeah,
Like
but
imagine like the mask coming off and like revealing Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah,
like,
but
with
it's the
like a gnarly
voice.
face scar or something as well.
Yeah, it's the voice as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's that bit in Breaking Bad where the bomb goes off and you see half of his face, like, as
Cool.
like, that shot, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, you
where
could-
it just rotates around and reveals like a skeleton.
Oh yeah, like that's it, innit? That's the money shot.
Like that show was like kind of grounded with everything until it did that, and it's like that guy is not walking out of that room.
No, it's like the whole thing where he like fixes his tie before he like falls.
Yeah, exactly.
over. It's like, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I reckon he'd be a really cool Doctor Doom. I think give him a big role like that. I think he's proved his chops, hasn't he? Like he's just such a authoritative actor. Like he just owns any scene that he's in, and I'm really
to just
excited.
be like, since Breaking Bad, like his career has just launched to a new height where he's in everything now. He's in Star Wars. He might be in the MCU. Like he's doing everything now.
Yeah,
It's great.
Cast him.
It's great for him.
Cast him.
Also, I saw another rumor, and I think it's just a rumor. I don't think there's anything to back it up anywhere. I think it's just one of these pie in the sky things. But they were pegging it as if it was like insider knowledge. Apparently, Brad Pitt was being eyed to play. It said the MCU's Superman, which when you talk about Superman in the Marvel comics, it's always Sentry.
Brad Pitt.
He would be an amazing Sentry, but I highly doubt that is any sort of truth. I think that's complete bollocks.
Yeah, I mean,
It would be great in it though.
I mean, they're going that way, aren't they? With the Eternals and stuff, but I think it's just so. I think thinking about what's next in the MCU already is like way too ahead. I think
Sentry is a character that we're never ever going to get in the MCU. His character is just too overpowered, too nonsensical. It's just a fucking mess. Like,
I mean,
it's a cool character arc, but it's just a mess. It's not going to make it to the screen in any way, so I think it's BS.
I reckon it may just be a cameo thing, maybe. It'd be cool if it was like a cameo.
Maybe. But he's already had that in Deadpool, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, he's
Deadpool
already.
2.
You can't put him in it then. He's already a character in Deadpool, isn't he? That's the MCU.
But
no?
that's the other thing though. But we got Luke Evans coming back. He was in the the Fox properties, and he's coming back.
True, actually.
We had I can't remember her name now. The woman from Luke Cage was also the mother from the beginning of Civil War, and we've got Mahershala Ali. He played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, and now he's coming as Blade in the MCU. So
True. Who's Luke Evans playing in? The MCU?
we don't know yet. Not Luke Evans. Fucking Luke Evans is the guy from Dracula Untold. It's not Luke Evans.
Is the Orlando Bloom look?
Evan Peters. Sorry, the guy who played Quicksilver.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was the Evans. It got me all mixed up.
Goodness.
There's too many Evans in Hollywood.
Yeah, someone
Well,
say
I'm going
we
to
need
start a petition now for less Evans in Hollywood.
Get Evans. It's a play on Get Evens. we need a lower even number of Evans in Hollywood.
Right. Right.
fuck's
What's
sake.
the next story? Let's power through some so we can get to the meat and bones of this episode.
So let's move away a little bit for a second from movie and TV stuff, because we tend to branch out to video games every now and then. I wanted to chat to you a little bit about the Xbox reveal showcase. So we talked a little bit about the PlayStation 1. We've talked a little bit about The Last of Us on here as well. Mm-hmm. But we kind of spoke a little bit about the Xbox showcase, but not really had the chance to kind of deep dive it a little bit with you. But what did you think, and what do you think you're going to end up getting if you're going to get a next-gen console at all?
Right. I was really looking forward to this event. As soon as they said we were getting some Halo Infinite, I was trying to think of the number, but it hasn't got one. It's just called Halo Infinite. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. We see Halo Infinite, and it looks like a last-gen game. Like, I'll be honest with you. But they are saying now, like, it's not the finished build of the game. Like, it was an early build. But it's like, if you're doing another event in, like, August or whenever, they said they're doing another event soon, why not just wait until you had something that you were proud to show off instead of showing it and then instantly after to be like, oh no, it wasn't the final thing, honestly, it's not meant to look that crap.
Yeah,
like,
this was the problem.
The gameplay looked sick. It was just the graphics did not look like 4K 60 FPS.
Yeah,
on a solid state drive.
I went back and watched a little bit of this, and when they're going up the elevator, you actually see the clouds in the background, like, appearing. It's, like, really weird.
I was about to mention that because, like, it's still a common thing. It's not a big issue. Like, in most games, especially in, like, the Unreal Engine, when you first spawn in, like, you can sometimes, like, see, like, it'll load it in stages and you can see it jump in over, like, the space of, like, 2 seconds. Whereas, like, you see that again in this when they're in the Warthog. They get in the Warthog and then it goes into the map and comes out and you see everything load in. It's like, this is meant to be a solid state drive and you're only loading in a small portion of the map for this tech demo. Like, come on now, at least make it look seamless.
Yeah,
like,
and this is meant
and it seems to take ages. Like,
yeah, and this is meant to be a, like, you know, this is what people have been waiting to see. It's like, you know, what are you like? What are you showing off? It's like you're meant to be showing off Halo Infinite gameplay. It's like a lot of people have been waiting to see this to make their mind up on whether they're gonna mentally be PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. Yeah. And then you show this, and the fucking brute at the end. Like, I know it fixes it a little bit once it's not a hologram anymore, but holy moly, I've seen better facial animations out of a fucking rock than what I've seen.
The thing is, like, so we had a pre-show to the event where they showed off just as many games in the pre-show as they did in the actual show, which makes no sense. They had more trailers in the pre-show of more interesting things than they did in the actual show. But then they had the Hellblade 2, is it? Which are like, oh, it's in Iceland now. It's like, okay, cool. But the facial animations on that trailer, that looks next-gen. Like, that looks like fucking real life, and it was disturbing as fuck. Like, that game looks really cool, but the animations on that looked amazing. And then you look at the flagship game of Halo Infinite and it looks like that, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it literally looked like that Everwild game.
So the thing is, there was some cool games showed off, but the thing is, they're all going to be available on PC, most of them anyway, the big ones. So what's the incentive to get one? Like, the incentive to get a PlayStation 5 is they've got the exclusives. Like, with the Xbox One, there were hardly any exclusives. After launch, there was hardly any exclusives, and that's what really damaged the console. They always said that they were working on it, and then towards the end, I think it was like 2 years ago now, they announced that they bought 15 game studios, and we've only seen games from 9 of them, and some of them seem like really small indie games, which are like 3-hour playtimes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, so what are these other big name studios doing? We finally got an announcement of a new Fable.
Yeah.
But the guys that did that, they make Forza, the Forza games.
Oh, okay.
Which are amazing games in their own right, but they haven't proven that they can do anything like Fable. But like, the amount of polish that's on a Forza game every year and stuff like that, like, I've still got faith for that. But again, that's probably going to come to PC with Game Pass. I think the best thing that they announced in this event was the fact that all of these games that they showed off will be free on Game Pass if you have Game Pass.
It's almost like they were trying to sell Game Pass more than what they were trying to sell the Series X.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't give us any new information about the console at all. They said they were going to talk about that in the next event, and that'll probably have the release date and the price and everything like that. But it felt like the Pokemon stuff the other week is like, why have an event to announce another event? Like, just wait and just blow everyone's tits off with like one massive event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I agree, though. It's like, it's almost like a bit underwhelming. And I think that's what people's perceptions is going to be now. I don't think you're maybe going to get as many people tune in for that next event because they've seen this and they've been underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I know I feel really underwhelmed. I know I'm looking more towards maybe a gaming PC now rather than a next-gen console.
Well, I was about to say the next thing I'm going to purchase gaming-wise is probably a Nintendo Switch and then upgrade my PC.
Yeah, and stay away from the next series.
Like, I still want a Series X, but it's not something that I'm rushing to get this holiday season anymore.
No.
Like, literally, 2 hours before the event, like, I was talking to the missus and, like, I was saying, like, oh, like, she was like, oh, I'll get you the Xbox for Christmas. Like, I'll trade in my Xbox One and, like, I'll get that money off whatever she was spending at Christmas and stuff like that. She was like, yeah, I'll get it you. Like, it makes it easier for me to find you a present at Christmas type thing. And then I watched the event. I was like, I might put the money towards a gaming PC now instead.
Yeah, that's it. It almost feels more tempting to wait until you kind of get those mid-generation consoles, like the refreshers.
Yeah.
Like, I know we jumped in on the Xbox One really early when it came out. And I just don't feel like I'm going to do that again unless there's a really big change between now and then. Anyway,
we were 17 when the Xbox One launched. That makes me feel old. Like, I can't believe, like, this generation seems to have gone really fast. It feels like the Xbox One came out like last year, but it was 7 years ago.
That's grim.
8 years ago.
That's grim. And we had Titanfall. Remember Titanfall?
Yeah, Titanfall. But that didn't even come out at launch and stuff. But like, that console, we were still in like the hype for it and everything like that, and we had so much faith for it going forwards. I think now we've got on older, like, we're using our money more wisely and stuff, and we've become a more like conservative like gaming spender. We're not going out buying every game every time. Like, we pick and choose the games that we buy now.
Yeah, and you have got the ability to do that. You have got the luxury of having choice. More so than what you ever had now. So you should do that. You should think more carefully before just.
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
when you were a kid, like, you just get whatever console your parents would buy you that year or whatever, and like you wouldn't have all the consoles from that generation and stuff like that. I did at one point, but it was sort of like a saved up like pocket money and everything like that, and bought myself an Xbox, and I traded in my PS2 for it, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, I had the Xbox and the GameCube, and I had a Game Boy and stuff like that. But it's like, you'd get, like, one console, like, every couple of years or something like that, and you would just, because you didn't have the opportunity of getting another console, you would just, like, buy whatever games, like, caught your attention, and you found loads of new games, whereas at this point in our lives, we have to be a bit more conservative and stuff like that, and we need to, like, figure out, not politically conservative, if you know what we're saying. That's a different podcast. But we need to be more conservative with our money and stuff like that, and be a smarter shopper. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it did really make me think after watching that event. I think, like you said, I'll probably wait until like the upgraded version of the console and stuff like that. Like, I've done the same thing with the Nintendo Switch. Like, they've done a revision, it's got better battery life and stuff like that, but I'll probably get that within the next year, as opposed to an Xbox Series X or a PS5. I'll probably wait until there's a load of PS5 games when I get a PS5 to get like Spider-Man, because I didn't have a PS4, so I missed out on Spider-Man, God of War, stuff like that. So I'll probably wait until there's a load of them and all those remastered or digitally on the PS5 anyway.
And then maybe pick up a PS5 instead. Because
for the exclusives.
You can get the Game Pass on your PC, obviously, can't you?
Yeah, so like we saw with Call of Duty, this newest one, like it plays just as well on the PC now, and you can use controllers on PC, and it's got cross-platform and all that. So there's a lot more incentive now to just get a PC instead of, because us and all our mates were always Xbox gamers, so we always had Xbox to play Halo together and everything like that. But now we can do all that on PC, so there doesn't seem to be any reason to have a PC and an Xbox. Just get a better PC. And also, I do stream twitch.tv/Chris Captures. I've just hit affiliate, so you can subscribe to me now. So it makes more sense to invest more in my PC than, 400, 500 quid in a new console.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a lot of Xbox talk. I didn't realise I had such a strong opinion until I started talking.
Yeah, that was a lot of deep Xbox talk as well. Like, really, really in-depth. Anyway, right, so after the Xbox announcement, we then got Comic-Con come up. Which we didn't talk about because we were busy, but here we are. So there was quite a bit from Comic-Con. We got a look at the black Superman suit for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, an interesting fact, I believe this suit was colour, but then they've recolored it. They've rekeyed it black.
Yeah, so Zack Snyder went to Warner Brothers when they were filming. We have seen footage of like an actual black suit, but I think that was after the fact. So he said, we need a new suit, we need a new like black and white suit for this shot, and they said no, because they didn't think that people wanted a black suit. They didn't feel like people were ready for a different suit and stuff like that, so they didn't want to fork out for it.
Yeah.
So, but they would pay for another coloured suit for other scenes, so they got a really desaturated, darker version of the suit, and then, like you said, once they filmed it, they sent it over to the colour grading and stuff like that, and they took all the colour out of it, so it made it easier with it being that desaturated suit.
That's mad. Like, why not just do a black suit? Like, you can give him a second coloured suit. That's so weird. It's just such a strange studio decision.
Why would Warner Brothers say no to a black suit Superman?
And at this point, why would you say no to Zack Snyder?
Well, they ended up saying no, we'll get Joss Whedon. They said a lot of no's to Zack Snyder when it came to Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not saying no to him now. You know what I mean?
No,
like, you
not.
think you'd kind of give. But then again, they're not going back and reshooting this. They're having to do what they can with what they've got, haven't they? So
also, this scene was sort of like a placeholder. So the dialogue with Alfred is sort of like a placeholder. That's why a lot of like his stuff is in like close-ups as well. Because this was also a possible opportunity. Zack Snyder was toying around with the idea. He had two versions of the script of whether it was going to be Superman in this situation or Green Lantern.
yes, I remember hearing that. I think
Who was he planning on casting?
I don't know who I. You know what? It would have been really cool to see Green Lantern. But I guess it makes more sense from Alfred's point of view for it to be Superman because of everything that happened in Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
If Green Lantern turned up, it'd be like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah.
Or Bruce Wayne would try and kill him with a spear with a crystal.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be kryptonite. It would just be a wooden. It would be a 2B pencil. It would be a wooden spear that was yellow. Because that's everything that Green Lantern is weak to.
It'd be a hand on the edge of a spear with 4 rings on it, yellow rings, and it said one hand says fuck and the other hand says you.
So he's holding 2 sticks with like boxing gloves on each hand, knuckle tattoos.
Sorry, to clarify on my fucking stupid idea. There is 2
Yes, please retcon it.
There are 2 spears. Bruce Wayne carries one in each hand. One says fuck, one says you. and he hits Green Lantern and pummels him in the face. But then Green Lantern won't have a mum named Martha. And Bruce will kill him and will spear him to death. There you go.
You know what? I think I'm trying to rack my brain now to remember if any of the Green Lanterns have got a mum called Martha.
I mean,
which Green Lantern would you like to see? I think we've already discussed this. I keep saying Kyle Rayner. I just want to see Kyle Rayner on screen.
You know, I'd be happy with Hal Jordan or John Stewart. I'd be happy with either of them. Like, yeah,
any of them. I would want John Stewart or Kyle Rayner. And then have Hal Jordan as like this higher figure. Wait until like the proposed Justice League core film, and then find out that Hal Jordan is like kind of like the leader of the Green Lanterns, and have him as sort of like a mentor character for one of these newer Green Lanterns.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We also got a massive clip from the New Mutants, which is the first 2 minutes of the film, I believe.
So I haven't watched this. I haven't watched the first 2 minutes.
No.
Because I think the trailer was spoilery enough, but the trailer, it looks cool. It looks like a good film. But are we ever going to see this film?
Now, a lot of people were pleasantly surprised by this first 2 minutes of the New Mutants. And a lot of people have said that it was actually one of the better things to come out of Comic-Con this year.
Yeah, it was a really kind of like non-event Comic-Con in the end.
Yeah,
well, that's because of the situation.
Just put it out. Just get it out there because it needs to get out. But I have heard that there was a deal with Fox and Disney as part of buying the New Mutants back when they bought Fox and all the properties, that it has to have a cinema release, apparently. Yeah. It has to have a theatrical release. So, how do you do that now? You know,
I think they're going to do like a small cinema release and then maybe a month into it being in cinemas, drop it on Disney Plus or something.
Put some collector's edition posters out in the cinemas. That'll get me there. That'll get us there.
I would have one of them because you know what? The artwork for this film has always been great. Like the aesthetics to this film and everything like that. It's just been the rigmarole of like this film was meant to come out over a year ago.
Wow.
And we've had reshoots and re-edits, and then they've gone back to the original edits and got rid of the reshoots and all that. It's like, just release the goddamn film.
Yeah.
Even before coronavirus happened, just release the film.
Yeah, I can't believe The Quiet Place Part 2 still isn't out.
Well, that's because cinemas are closed, aren't they?
Yeah, but how long does it feel like we've spoken about that?
Yeah, ages ago. Like it was about to come out, wasn't it?
I think it's been delayed to next year now.
I think so, but haven't they also announced A Quiet Place 3?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I think it got quietly announced, but I think John Krasinski sold the property to whichever studio. Is it Legendary or Lionsgate?
Some would say they stored that news in a quiet place. Anyway, there's quite a bit from Comic-Con, so we'll fire through a couple of bits and bobs. So, Rick and Morty Season 5 is a thing.
Yeah, they had the cinematic for it. I think in the UK we're still waiting for the second half of the season of Season 4.
I believe so. I've not started it yet.
I was a little bit disappointed with Season 4.
Yeah, I've not.
I don't think it's the same show that it used to be. Like, it's still there, but I feel like most of the big ideas have been gone through, or maybe it's just burnout of it. Like, it felt like such like a new, fresh, smart show, and then it's just sort of like it is what it is now. Like, I'm kind of used to it. Like, the sheen's been taken off it almost.
Yeah. There was a first look at Rick. That's what I've just said. The Constantine cast and crew talk sequels, which is cool.
Constantine?
Yep.
As in the film or the series?
As in Keanu Reeves.
Hello?
Some of the cast and crew talked sequel. I don't think it's confirmed.
I felt like I heard this a while ago as well, but I weirdly like that Constantine film. I rewatched it probably last year. That's not a bad film, you know. For a Constantine film, considering we got the season cut short, like Warner Brothers don't seem to have any faith in that property. Like, that film's pretty damn good. Shia LaBeouf as well is a weird casting for his best mate, Cabby Driver, whose name has just left me.
No. There's quite a bit, so let's carry on. There's big news on live action Mega Man movie.
What is the big news?
That it's
That
incoming.
it's happening?
It's happening. that is the news.
Okay. So it's an announcement. The big news is the announcement.
There's a trailer for Hellstrom, which is a Marvel film that goes a little bit more horror.
I think it's a series, isn't it? It's a Hulu series.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, this is the original son of the the Marvel Comics Devil, I believe. I don't know anything about it other than that. It looked okay.
There was a bit more...
It looked like Legion, but horror.
Yeah, there was a bit more Walking Dead stuff. So, Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. The fact that's on Season 6 amazes me.
And also, we're about to get the third spin-off as well.
Yeah, like, that's pretty mad. Like, I remember Fear the Walking Dead coming out, and the fact it's lasted to Season 6, considering people had such fatigue with The Walking Dead, is pretty crazy. Also, the Season 10 finale isn't a season finale anymore, apparently.
Okay.
Which either means it's still going, or who knows.
Yeah, I think they were cutting that season short, I think, because of the coronavirus, but maybe they were able to start production again. I haven't watched that in, 2 seasons. Like, Rick was still in it last time I watched it. Spoilers. Like, I fell off with that. I've seen the first 10 minutes of episode 1 of Fear the Walking Dead 6 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And the new show that's coming out looks pants.
I think that's
looks like they're trying to do Stranger Things.
World Beyond, isn't it?
Yeah.
Josh Boone
Have you
revealed...
seen anything from that?
Nope, and I don't care because it looked rubbish. Josh Boone revealed that he had plans for a forthcoming New Mutants to become a trilogy of Fox Marvel movies, and he was going to include Warlock as well.
Yeah, I believe that. Wait, Warlock or the Warlock?
Warlock.
And I'm thinking of the Murloc.
A new Star Wars comic book will tie into The Rise of Skywalker. Like, we need any more tie-ins to The Rise of Skywalker. Also, a big Star Wars news is they announced the next trilogy, didn't they? They announced the dates for when it would be coming out, which is really exciting because, one, it's a new Star Wars trilogy that is going to be completely new, hopefully. And two, is this going to be the Rian Johnson trilogy, or is this something completely different?
Is this the guys from Game of Thrones, or did their trilogy get cancelled?
No idea. That's I don't think they specified. I think they've just said these are the next 3 Star Wars films, and this is when they're happening. And I think it's 2022, 2023, 2024, I believe, maybe.
I think there's a year in between, actually. I think it's 2022, 2024, because I think it's coming out in between the Avatar films.
Yeah, so they're being dotted in between, aren't they?
Yeah, because I think the first one of them is meant to be 2021, then 2023.
Yeah. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg team up again in the Truth Seekers trailer, which is cool.
This looked pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think Simon Pegg's in it nearly as much as you think. Like, when it was first announced, it was like, oh, new Simon Pegg, Nick Frost thing. But in the trailer, he's in 2 shots, and on the promotional stuff, he's way behind all the extended cast.
I love Nick Frost's new vibe, like this big bearded guy with shed loads of tattoos. He's just
big old
full
bushy
on.
beard.
A big old bushy beard. That's why is this a thing on the podcast? Why is a big old bushy beard such a thing?
Because it's a Hot Fuzz reference. I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
I know, but we say it quite a lot.
I rewatched Paul the other day. It's fucking great.
Yeah, Paul's pretty good. His Dark Materials Season 2 trailer, I think that's a Amazon Prime thing.
No, that's BBC.
That's a BBC thing.
That's a BBC thing. That's got Lin-Manuel Miranda in it. It's got Laura Kinney from... She played X-23 in Logan.
And then,
Season 1 was okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I thought this was something else, to be honest. I thought this was the thing with Orlando Bloom in it that came out.
No, that's Carnival Row.
This has got the guy from Sherlock who plays Moriarty, isn't it?
In His Dark Materials?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't remember him in Season 1.
It might be in Season 2 then.
Maybe. Yeah, it's based off the His Dark Materials book, so we got the Golden Compass film.
Oh, yeah.
It's based off that stuff.
And then the big news that I'm very,
news.
very, very happy to see is not only did we get a clip from The Boys, which is absolutely hilarious if you've not already seen it.
Yeah,
They drive the speedboat through the whale, which is just so good.
Wow.
Carl
It's
Urban's
just, wow.
face when he's like, "Yep, no, we're going through it," and then the Deep is like, "Wait, no, what?"
I can't wait for the Deep to be killed off.
We are.
I don't know if or when, but I just want it to happen.
But the big news is that we're actually getting a season 3 of The Boys already, which
Yeah.
I love The Boys. Like I can't wait. Like I really, really enjoyed Umbrella Academy, and I really, really enjoyed The Boys, and they're two very, very good TV series.
They were just like a weird, bizarre, refreshing new spin on the superhero genre.
Yeah,
Like I know they're not new in terms of the comic books, but in terms of shows.
and then in terms of the other bits of Star Wars news that we got, so I think this wasn't Comic-Con announced. I think this was just the rumors and stuff that came out. There's apparently going to be a Lando solo series coming to Disney Plus with Donald Glover.
Yes.
So-
yes.
And we've talked about this before, so I really liked Solo more than what I remembered liking it when I watched it back, because I was trying to defend it on that particular episode of the
You
podcast.
went full on change my mind on it.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, don't forget your mentions Aura Singh, and there's lots of kind of stuff to do with Lando that you could fit in.
Yeah, you had a sequel, a trilogy of books in the 80s and stuff like that. Like, Donald Glover was the best part of that film, like, for me.
Yeah, he killed
So,
it. And then
yeah,
we're
just
a
give me more
bit,
Lando.
we're a bit quiet on the whole Obi-Wan front as well. They've kind of just taken the same move as what Marvel's done. I mean, obviously it's the same, Disney own them both, but it's kind of, if we get more TV series than what we do films, I won't moan. Like, The Mandalorian's really good. So
Yeah,
at least if
exactly.
we get something that matches that quality, then I'll be really happy. And Mandalorian Season 2 isn't actually that far away now.
No, it's not. It's only... Is it October it's meant to be coming out?
Certainly is October. We're in July,
man.
going into August now. So wow, 2 months
Wow.
away, basically.
Hell yeah. I still need to finish the behind-the-scenes series for it as well.
Such a time.
Also, speaking of Star Wars, there was a semi-announcement, I think.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Everybody seemed to be reporting on it, but now everything seems to have disappeared about it. It's almost like we all group hallucinated this happening, that a Darth Maul series was in production.
Well, semi-announced is one way to put it.
We didn't know if it was live action or whether it was
I'm
animated or
I'm
what.
going to say it again. Semi-announced is one way to put it.
It definitely wasn't a semi, mate.
So I'll let you take this one.
If anybody is turned on Twitter, I was on holiday and I was just walking down a nice rural Devon coastline with old people all around me, and I'm stood outside a shop because it was the day that they brought in the whole thing that you need to wear masks in the UK to go in a shop, and I forgot mine, so I was just stood outside the shop, and then I turn on Twitter and I'm like, ooh, Ray Park's trending on Twitter. Why is Ray Park trending on Twitter? Is it to do with the Darth Maul series that was announced yesterday? And then I click on it. Oh boy, that guy shot himself in the foot.
Deep,
That guy shot himself in the dick.
deep shit. Literally deep shit right now.
Something else was deep as well, but we won't get into it.
Some people would say up shit creek without a paddle, and
Yeah.
that is certainly Ray Park.
I-
But we're not going
I
to
haven't-
comment on the situation because it is obviously pretty messy.
It's a really fucking dick move as well. Whatever happened, I don't know the full ins and outs. Nobody seems to have got down to the final answer at the moment about what happened or why it happened. But whether it's just
whether
a
or not
fucking
it's
dick
legit
move, and
is the
it
big
was-
thing as well. We don't know if it's legit, if it's not.
I mean, the one legit thing is the fact that it was his wife, and she has confirmed that.
Yeah, and that exists.
And that is such a dick move. Like, he just got back in like Disney's good books. He was doing mocap for the Clone Wars and stuff. Like, if they were going to bring back Maul, he probably would have been the body for Maul again. I know we got Sam Witwer can do the voice and stuff like that, but he would. If this was going to be live action, or even if it was animated, he could have still done the mocap for it. Like, he could have been involved in it. And then, like, the day after he did that, and like, this is not, our podcast is not the place for this.
No,
like,
we're not a serious issues podcast.
If you're interested, go look into it, but just, oh, fuck me, man.
I mean, it was almost like
he shafted himself, pardon the pun.
I mean, I think it was just a really strong rumour. I think it was a rumour that there was going to be a Darth Maul Disney Plus series. But sometimes it may be a rumour. It may have been him appearing in the Obi-Wan series, maybe, and it gets lost as a rumour.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, like, it's kind of like everything falls into place, and then it's like, all we need now is Hayden Christensen to do something absolutely terrifyingly sketchy on Twitter, and then we're never getting Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader on screen again. But that's still a rumour as well, so... You know, if we don't get Ray Park as Darth Maul, then we'll at least get Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker.
Apparently, the newest rumour is as well Natalie Portman's back in talks to reprise a role as Padme as well, so maybe we'll get some Clone Wars throwbacks for the three of them.
So I didn't realise, but I think I did realise, but it's just reminded me that Deborah Chow is directing the entire first season of the Ewan McGregor solo series. That's called A Long Way Round. If you've
I mean, Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan at this point are just one and the same.
Yeah, Deborah Chow's directing it, and the script comes from Joby Harold, who did the Bumblebee script, which isn't a bad film, to be honest.
No, that's probably the best Transformers film.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm happy with that announcement. Also, did you see on, I think it was Ewan McGregor's Instagram or Twitter, he posted a picture of himself, and he's got the beard and the hair growing out. He's got the Obi-Wan look coming back through.
Ooh,
it's coming back.
It's coming. It's coming. He's back.
It's like the Revenge of the Sith type look. So he's got like the longish sort of like center side part type thing and the beardy goatee.
Where was this? On his Twitter?
I think he was like cooking on a barbecue or a grill or something.
Well, no, hang on. No, was this on his Twitter, or did you see his face while you were cooking on a barbecue or a grill?
Instagram, maybe.
Did he appear like a Jesus in a piece of toast?
I wish.
I've just had the funniest image in my head that instead of thinking it's Jesus, imagine if you just thought it was Ewan McGregor all the time.
Well, there's that whole thing of somebody replaced the mum's picture of Jesus with Ewan McGregor, like in his robes as Obi-Wan, and the mum's just kept it up thinking it was like somebody depicting Jesus.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely got his beard back for Obi-Wan.
I can't find this image anywhere. Like, I literally saw it on Twitter the other day. Somebody was like, he's got his Obi-Wan look back.
Yeah, he's also found the Fountain of Youth as well, definitely.
Like, he just seems to be getting younger all of a sudden. Definitely.
Yeah. He's like Benjamin Button in his way to like Jared Leto.
Yeah, literally. Okay, a couple last bits of news.
Benjamin Button types.
Wonder Woman 1984, the junior novelization has been released, or at least the script or something has been released from it, or people have had early review copies of it,
which you should probably stay away from if you don't want spoilers for this film then.
Yeah, so like I've not read into it, but it's revealed the plot, so the plot is out there.
Oh dear.
I just scrolled down and saw something that I didn't want to see. It's not a major thing, but it's something that like we kind of like theorized about maybe.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that. Let me close Google down and not accidentally find that.
Yep, and then Disney and Pixar have announced 2 films. So the Pixar movie is Luca, which is going to be set in Italy. So like Pixar seem to be doing like a round the world trip at the moment, trying to take like all these different cultures and stuff like that, and taking aspects from them and making cool, interesting films. So that's going to be set on the Italian Riviera. So that's going to be a gorgeous film.
Very nice.
And also the next Disney film that they're putting into production. We had a soft announcement of it earlier this year, but it's been fully announced now. It's called Raya and the Last Dragon. The synopsis is, in a land called Kumandra, split into 5 different regions, a warrior named Raya searches for the last dragon in the world. And it's got Cassie Steele and Aquafina, who was in, was it The Farewell? That was nominated for the awards.
Very interesting.
So it's like a twist on the world if it was all like ancient Asian style.
I apologise, my dogs are going crazy. Bet you've missed that. Bet you've missed that. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much wraps up the last 3 weeks of catch up on news, doesn't it?
I mean, I think there was other stuff, but we just forgotten it because there was that much of it.
I mean, we were going to try and talk about the Umbrella Academy Season 1 this episode, but I think we've kind of run enough time for this week, to be fair. Well, we should probably talk about it. We'll probably reminisce a bit on Season 1 for next episode, because we're going to try and watch the Umbrella Academy for next episode. Whether or not it comes out progressively or whether or not it comes out with the entire season, we'll have to wait and see. And then maybe next week's episode may look a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
we'll figure it out. Just expect some Umbrella Academy.
I think that's all we've got time for this week. So thank you very much for tuning in again. Welcome back, Chris, to the pod.
Well, welcome to my new house.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the podcast. You as well, Sam.
It sounds fantastic, echoing in the background there. Yeah, right. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at GetRealPod. Head over, share us with your friends. Give us a like, follow, comment, and all that kind of business on there. Engage with us. Let us know what you'd like to hear and see. Tell us what you thought of the announcements from Comic-Con, because we'd love to hear what you thought of it. And you can also email us if you're a bit old school like that. GetRealPodUK@gmail.com.
And also, you can check us out on YouTube as well. All the podcasts are uploaded to there if you want to watch it in an audio version, in a video version, if you want to put the playlist on and let it all roll. We're available on there, and there will be video stuff coming soon. Like I said, I've got my own house now, so it's getting ever closer.
It's getting closer.
It's getting closer.
We just need a neon sign.
Now that I've got my own space, maybe extra content. Maybe exclusive to the YouTube channel, maybe. Check us out.
Tease it.
Day! I'm excited. I've got my own house. We can do whatever we want now.
Yeah,
because it's not too late and the neighbours don't mind.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, I'm sure they won't mind a conversation.
Also, Neon Sign. Neon Sign is a great shout that we've been talking about for a while. If anybody who listens to the podcast makes neon signs, send us one of our logo, please.
Yeah, we won't pay you because we're broke. But we'll thank you.
You can give it to us for free and be an eternal sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, we'll honourably mention you on every single episode of the podcast ever if you send us a free neon sign, if you create neon signs, if you listen to this podcast. It's a
Send
very,
us
very
free shit, guys. Send us free shit. I've got a house now. I'm broke. Send me free shit.
We'll need to get a PO box for all those fucking mothballs that we're gonna get from. Anyway, that's us for this week. I'm going to go before my dogs ruin this recording, and we will catch you next week. See ya.
Bye. I'm glad we didn't get more professional in the break.
Never
I'm glad
professional.
It's just the same as ever.